Hi, thanks for turning up today. I've got some where we left off from yesterday. I've got some items to actually test. Done some testing on some audio equipment yesterday, so I'm going to continue where we left off because I've got a lot to get through. So one of them is going to be today. We have got some items. Let me go and grab it. We have two Citronics audio. I think today we have these, so we need to test these because I've got a lot of this item stuff to actually test. So let's give it a test and see how it goes. Decks, yes, these are MP3s. I don't know if these work because I've got a lot of this equipment, like a lot of other equipment. So I've got two of these all boxed up, no cables, nothing. So today I want to get these tested to see if these physically work. I think we might have to connect them to a amplifier if I remember correctly. These will not power on these won't work by themselves, so I think we're going to need. They're actually, so we've got a CD at the front, so it looks like you can put a CD in these ones. We've got some connections on here, so consumption 15 volts maximum, so warning about lasers and good things in the back. So well, that's going to be a problem, isn't it? It shouldn't be. That looks like a figure of 8. But why is that end capped off blank? I don't get that. AC in. We've got audio out, digital out, and remote control, which I haven't got the remote control. But let's see if we can put in a. No, that's not the one. Let me grab a cable. I need a power plug. No, that's for PC. Can't use that. No, can't use that. Wow. Telling me out of all these bloody plugs, I did have a plug. Bear with us a minute. Let me pinch a plug. I thought I had all the plugs down here. You are kidding me. I've got all these plugs. Listen to me, I haven't got a plug to fit that in. Unbelievable. Let me have a look. Is that a plug? No, that is a lead. I thought that one of them plugs, yeah, the figure of 8, that's what I thought it was, the figure of 8, but it's got a flat end, which is a bit strange. Normally the figure of 8 normally would go straight in, but I think they've done that deliberately so that it doesn't fit. I bet that's going to be like a capped one. If it is, that's going to cause a problem, because is this 240 straight in? No, 240 straight in voltage, so we should be safe. So it's got a built-in transformer. So, you know, I thought, oh, hang on, are some of these have got do you have to have a transformer? Yeah, I've got one here. There you go, I've got one. It was right in front of me, buried in all the other leads. Right, okay. Does she go in? Yeah, she does. Oh, so why have they done that then? Why did they just didn't finish the configure of 8 on the other side, then it's flat? I mean, because these ain't flat. You can actually see they've got the connections on it. It's strange. Anyway, let's see if she switches on, because I don't know, because like I said, as you see it's just come in like it. So we should have a power. We do. We have an orange light. Let me pull it down so you guys can see. If I switch that light off, you might be able to see it a little bit more because of the glare. No. It's still cleared out. Wow. So, but we've got some orange lights. We've got a red light. I don't know what these are, but I can't see, it won't show you. I mean, that's unbelievable. I mean, it goes to show that it won't even show this screen because it just looks orange. It's blurred out. Unbelievable. Oh, the camera's come off now. Oh, Jesus. Hold up, guys. Let me screw this back in. This bloody thing. There you go. We're back up and running. So, yeah. So I'm. That's a bit strange because it won't show you. Is there a dimness or something? Because I don't use these, and I haven't got a clue. I mean, we're going to have to put this through an amplifier and test it. I mean, I'm lucky enough it powers up. I mean, I don't know how long these have been sitting around for because, you know, they've probably been quite a while. So I'm amazed they even power up. Yeah, the issue is today. Let's have a look. Let's read your comment there. Go on. Who's on? We've got a few people on. So yeah, Dex figure 8. So we got Hello Spec 360. I think I don't know if he was on Andy's stream or not. I wasn't sure because I was streaming Andy. The Dion's was awkward with cables as well. Tied to charge me around £130 for a certain cable. Wow, what as much? Mind you, it's a Dion in it. The Denons are like that. They are really. I didn't know this could be £130 for a bloody cable. No, wow. I found the same one for 15. I mean, that's a bargain, isn't it? You can't pay 130 for a cable. It's just ludicrous. And today, it's barely any DJSs and you say CDs anymore. No, I mean, you're right. They probably don't. I mean, these were probably before MP3s actually were introduced on that front, because looking at most of these decks now, obviously this spins round, but I suppose in CDs, I mean, they use vinyls. I mean, I've got my 1210s over in the corner with my Pioneer PD1s, and I've got 2 of them. So I suppose in, you know, after vinyl, CDs, and then after CDs, MP3s. But with, you know, like you said, they normally just use the old scratch tables and that. So this was another version of, this must have been an earlier version where they used CDs on that front. And yeah, just looking at that, yeah, it looks like, yeah, basically. And then you've got, obviously, when you press the button, you've got the red light, so it takes the CD in, and then it starts blinking looking for a CD. But I don't know if they've got any. I mean, I'm amazed they just even turn on. I mean, they're really in good condition. I mean, these are going to be auctioned off anyway. I'm not going to use these, so these will probably be on eBay for sale. I'll have to do a bit of investigation, except, and the same with me, other audio equipment, because I'm proper old school. Yeah, well, I think these were over 20 years ago. Wow, 20 years? Is it as long as that? Jesus. The issue today is barely used anymore. The CDs. Yeah, I mean, you know, I'm thinking for these type of, if we put the camera back on, and then I could see us guys. That's it. And then that way you can see us, because it's a bit dark. There you go. Mind you, don't you? I've got a stonking big cable stuck there with the power supply. Let me power that up. That's it. That ain't too bad. I mean, on that front. But yeah, I think you're right. I'm thinking no one actually physically uses these now, because you know, like you said, these were probably back in the old days where they had, you know, no one, you know, where they used to use you know, CDs to do the old mixing. Let's pull that cable so it just pulls that out of the way of the view. Yeah, hitting the wrong button on a Behringer mixer. It's funny you should say that. That's next on the list. I have got, I don't know if it's a Behringer, I don't know what, I ain't even checked, because I've got a lot of this audio, and I've got a lot of these audio equipment, decks and things like that, so I need to test to see if this stuff is working, because it's just been sitting on top of the wardrobe for, these were all donations, so which they can't test them. They haven't got the facilities, and they haven't got amplifiers to power these up and to see if these physically work. You're hitting the wrong button during it can be an awful hint. Yeah, I can imagine. You can't even get the power supply from. Have you got any of the power amps for sale? Well, besides, I've got. Yesterday, if you check in my link, if you actually look at my previous videos, yesterday I've got some. I've done some testing on some audio equipment, and I've got a JVC amplifier, which is this one. Let me quickly show you. Yeah. Hold on, that's it. This is the one here. So I've got this one for sale. This one I ain't put up yet because I ain't had time to do it. This is a JVC on that front, so it's about 150 watts, and we thought it wasn't working. When I tested it, it ended up just being a bad connection. It is now fully working. That one works fine. Also, which I can't drag 10 because it's extremely heavy, I've got some audio, what was it? I think it's a Pioneer stereo receiver, and it weighed 16.10 kg, and it just about fitted on a table. And I've got a Sony one which I've not tested as well, on that front, but I haven't got round. I've got some Denon stuff I've not tested yet. There's more amplifiers, not amplifiers, I've got another tape deck, there's some more stereo. I'll take to think what there is, but I'm trying to get through what I can get my hands on at the moment. These Citronic ones, yeah, these are all, they're all amps, buddy. I need something like 2,500 watts with speaker output like XLR in. Right, I see. So you're looking for something that's it's got a little bit of a kick to it, so something like that. I mean, that's quite a lot in it, but something like 2,500 watts, you know, that's going to give that quite a thump, right, for big powering big speakers. I mean, I've got a big 600 watt the old preamp with all the sliders, and that powers my big speakers up over there, and they're 500 watts each. Them speakers in the corner that I'm using. So but yeah, I don't think I've got anything that powerful on that front, but yeah, something like that. Yeah, you're going to need something that's going to yeah, it's for getting back into the audio for the discos, etc. Yeah, so what you need, you want something a bit like similar to this, what I've got. Let me unplug this and I'll show you. I'll come back to this in a minute. This is the one that I've managed to get. Let me grab it. Let me show you guys. This one's quite heavy, but this is the one. This is one of mine. And what I've got on this one, this is a Carlsberg power. This one's a power amp on this one. So this one is got all the jacks in on this one, and God almighty, it is a beast. So this one being 300 watt per channel basically on this one, but this one's had some problems. It is now fixed, but I've got to get at some point these what powers my amplifiers, these are low impedance ones, these will give a kick. I mean 300 watt by 300 watt, a 600 watt out. But these mixers power them amps up, right? Because the output on this is quite high, but this really kicks them speakers. Well, if I crank it up too much on here, it'll blow them speakers up 500 watt at the end of the day. But I had this when I done this on a disco for someone that was leaving for work. I took this and I only had it on number 2, and I got told to turn it down. It was that loud because of the power this delivers. But there's some of these sliders, they're crackling, so these are going to need to be taken apart and cleaned. I've got some deoxit, so I've got some stuff like this which will give this hopefully these deoxit stuff will give it some of it a clean because of the carbon. But half of these, they're really stiff, and I've got a job to turn them, or some of them's completely seized. So the pots on these will need to be changed. I think they're around about 150k on the pots, 50k to 150. They're not that much on there. Lucky enough I can buy the pots, but they're individual boards on these. So looking at this is, well, obviously this is an 8 channel. This is obviously an 8 channel output on this one, so I can have 8 inputs put into it. But this one does give a kick, these Carlsbergs. Something like powering in speakers, you know, you probably want something like that needs to give it a kick. But obviously this one does work. It did have a blown chip. It had a chip in it and it was blown. Lucky enough my friend had a spare chip. He installed it. The left side wasn't working on the channel. The chip was gone, so the chip decided to fail. So he put a new chip in. It's fine, back up and running again on that front. But these, what's that? Let's have a look. Yes, these are getting back now. I have a Carlsberg Ellipse mixer, and it has a built-in amp. It's dead. Oh, it's such a shame. These are a thing of beauty. I mean, again, this is getting on for nearly. It's probably about 12 kg lifting this, so it's over 10 kg in weight at the end of that. But this works beautiful now. But the sound's a bit crackly. It just wants some deoxit, so I need to take this out at some point on the graphic equalizer. But when I have this on, I don't need to crank this up much because of the 300 watt per channel that this kicks out. They did do 150 watt channel one. This was the higher end, which again, because this is 300 by plus 300, so it's a 600 total. But it powers them 500 watt speakers up, lovely. So even a kilowatt of sound, it's enough to, you know, if I crank it, it will start, you know, it'll start shaking the floor and things like that. So this definitely works 100%. But I'm not going to sell this one because obviously I haven't got nothing to power them big speakers up, because they're about a 6 ohm speaker, them ones. Yeah, it depends on the speaker being used. Yeah, exactly. I mean, you know, exactly. I mean, that's a prime example. It's like you said. I've got I think they're 15-inch cones on them ones, and they're proper industrial. So which I've got. I don't know. Let me see if I can spin the camera around, and you might be able to see it. And yeah, you can see what I mean. So up in the corner where my PC is, I've got two sitting on top of each other, So at the end of the day, so it powers them up quite nicely. So I don't have any issues on power side. I've got obviously me Pioneer PD1, but the other one I've had to put into the cupboard because obviously I haven't got room for it to pull it out and start using on that front. So yeah, but with this, I'm thinking that I need to come back to this because obviously, you know, I need to adjust these pots because that one's seized. That's completely and utterly. God, I don't want to push that. This is what I'm saying. Some of them are really. That one's seized. So I might have at least more than a dozen of these are seized up because this hasn't hardly been used at the end of the day. It's got a massive coil, but the Colesbergs, yeah, lovely machine. But I am gonna need to come back and to address these pots because I want this fully restored 100% on that front. But yeah, you can't get these are proper old school. But yeah, for something like that, but she is incredibly heavy for what she is. Let me put her back, stand her back up here for a minute. So also I've got on the bench that I've got a test today because I've got loads. I've got cupboards full of this stuff. It's ridiculous how much I've got at the end of it. So I've also got a mixer. Again, I don't know if this stuff works because we can't test it because where I work, if we can't physically plug it in and test it, that means we can't sell it. And this stuff we can't sell. Now I've already got some Citronic stuff. I've got a mixer over there at the end of the day, and I'll show you the one I'm using. Now, hello, police. Oh God, not the druggies again. Now this is my mixer, right? This is the one that I use. Again, Citronic. So Citronic's, you know, what's the name on it? It's a proper DJ stuff on that one. But yeah, it's basic. You've got all your inputs, so on the top. So you know, so you can do all your mixing. This one runs my. What do I use? I use that for the PD ones. At the end of the day, you got your cutting, you got your blending, you got your peak monitor and your outputs. It's a basic. I mean, it wants a clean. It ain't been switched on for God knows how long. But again, fine, absolutely fine. But I've got also another one of these in a bag, and I don't know what model it is because again, I've got to get to it because it's the same with all my disco lights. I've got a load of disco lights and stuff, and I ain't even tested them, so I don't know if they even work at the end of the day. So I need to test some of this equipment to see if it physically works. So yeah, they've gone out. Oh dear, the police, typical of the bloody police. Someone's called the police on them. So yeah, oh yeah, look. Now you know what I was saying about earlier on. I'm going, where's the Citronic stuff? Look, it's all been put in one box because this come in as a job lot. So obviously we've got the manual, which is good, great. So I can put the manual with that. So we've got obviously, oh, it's a Behringer. I didn't even know if it was a Behringer. It's actually a Behringer. So and some audio leads. Does it work? No. We got some audio leads. Let me. I think this might be the easiest thing to test actually, for some of that. So yeah, I didn't even know it was a Behringer. You know when you look at the box and it didn't say Behringer. Oh, it does. Right in the bottom hand corner, it actually does say Behringer. Check my reply. Sorry, bud. On Andy's Discord, and I will send you the latest setup I work with. Brilliant. Okay, I will do that, bud. Thank you very much. So yeah, going on some of these. I had previously a Pro 15 DAS or a DSR 115, and the latest version I helped out an EV tour and DATs with 15 cabs and double 18 bins and 8 God, Jesus, 8,000 watt continuous. Wow, that thing must have kicked, I tell you. Let's read that one previous. It depends on the speakers that you've been using, but it normally takes a power requirement. So for a related 300 watts, it'll probably peak out about 150 RMS. Is that RMS or MS? MS. I can't see it. I'm only using a little tiny screen on this, and I've got a job to see it. But I will check out. Yeah, I will check out on that. Oh, it's RMS. Thanks, bud. So yeah, still kicks now. I mean, well, put it this way. When I run that cars per amp, I put it on 1, and it's enough to start shaking the floor. And I'm thinking, and then the old boy stands downstairs says, "That's why I can't have it on." He starts moaning. He says, "Yeah, you couldn't turn that down a bit." He said it's shaking the ceiling, and I live in a concrete flat, so it's not wood. It's actually made of concrete, so the vibration must really kick on that. But yeah, on this, we've got some connections on that. So we're looking at, we've got some inputs on that front. So let me spin it round the right way. I've got it bloody upside down. That would help, wouldn't it? I hate things when they're upside down. We'll talk about orientation. Yeah, you wouldn't need to. You would need a sound limit on that. I probably will. I mean, comparing the amount of some of this stuff that I've got buried in cupboard, I don't even know. I mean, I didn't even know this was a Behringer. Behringers are normally a good brand. I mean, that little Citronic one is perfect. When I was doing, when I done a disco, I didn't take my PD ones because I don't want them damaged. The Pioneer PD ones are, you know, the true Alpine of the, you know, of the decks, and I don't really want to get them broke because to get the parts, it's nigh impossible. So what I done, I just took that Carlsberg amp and a laptop and just played everything through the barrel jack connectors, because it come out with you know, your left and your right audio. I just put it straight in that Carlsberg amp and it powered them up lovely. I never had any issues, so I just needed to convert it from USB to come out with the audio, and it did, and it done the job. You know, and a few disco lights, and it, you know, it was quite a good night. But it was surprising how loud them, you know, them speakers do deliver. They've got some lovely drivers on them. But that's why I don't. These are all right if you're old school and you're doing the decks, you know. But again, I need to get these tested, because do these work? Oh, I might have a cable with that. Let me just quickly plug a cable in. Yeah, I have got a cable. Because again, these come with no cables, none. So they're obviously like different makes and models with these Behringers on that front. But does she switch on? Oh, do these? Oh, we are. There you go. She does switch on. So let me switch the light off, and then we can, because otherwise you're going to get constantly bloody glaring. And then you can see, and it's just so much better at the end of the day. That's it. So if I move the camera just ever so down, then you guys can actually get to see. So again, I haven't powered, this is the first time I've powered it on. So obviously, good that it works, it does switch on, but we need to put some inputs on. And these will have to go into, am I right, these will have to go in an amplifier to get sound to come out, because this is only a mixer on that front. So this will have to go into something like that Carlsberg amp, won't it? Like there, and to test, to do, or does it? I forgot. You could connect one Citronic deck on the mixer to see if the audio nectars come through the headphones. Oh yeah, good idea. Has this got an headphone connection? What's that? Yeah, that's a good. Oh, headphones. Sorry, right down the bloody bottom. Look, you're right. So I didn't see it. let me move the camera over. Yeah, you're right. So this, yeah, so I could put the headphones through. Well, I've only got to mix something in, I. So it's only got to have an input going into this, and then just plug it into the headphone side to see if we have got output coming out. So I assume these are all the connectors and the decks that you've got connected to it. So we only need one, and then yeah, that's not a bad idea. So I'm thinking we'll put something in like that CD player. So what I need to do next thing is make a little bit of room. So if I move these up, we move that up, and then I can get the Citronic deck. What's that one? Right, okie dokie. So I need cables. So let me plug that cable into that one. So it's going to be out, going in. Right, well I just had a pair of the RC cables, so right, that's interesting. This is the only thing when you're setting up decks and things, the amount of what you've got to do. So so this is audio out. So we want white and red. Now this is the only way of me knowing if that CD thing is working, and I need to put it into line CD. Would that be line? Oh, these are outputs. Oh, are they inputs? No, inputs. Sorry, it's my carrots. So I can go line or CD. So I go CD. So we've got a CD in there. So before I do anything, then I need into the channel. Right. So let me have a quick read. So into a channel that the EQ'd, and then will show you playing. Yes. So I'm going to plug it to CD. Let me go and grab a CD, which I did have. Right, I found a pair of headphones. I'll have to put like I've got these little JVC for my Walkman. These little JVC ones. So I've got a connector, so I can stretch that up. I'm just having issues of trying to find a bloody CD. Typical, because who uses CDs? You know, and this is the trouble. But the amount of gear I've got in here is anything's possible. So I probably ain't going to find. We'll come across one. I don't think they're CDs. They're cassettes. See, they're cassettes. Is there anything? What about if I put What about what about one of them other discs? Bear with us, guys. We'll be with you in a minute. Let me just. I want to see if this is working. Goes to show I don't bloody use these things. Police are still sitting out there. Wow. Right, I can't use a DVD, obviously. For obvious reasons. This one's a bit scratched up, but I've got an Elvis. Greatest hits. So first things first, let's see if I can put a connector. Goes from 2.5 to 3.5. And I should have plenty of them. He says. Yeah, you can tell I'm well organised. Yeah, right, okay. Yeah, here we go. So we've got one in there. So we got a 3.5 jack going into 2.5, which is going to be more than enough. Fucking wires. This is the bane of my existence when it comes to this type of stuff. Right, so we need to switch both of these on at the end of the day. These are now on. Let me put in the audio CD. So we've got output coming in. I've switched it from where it says line into CD at the end of the day. We've got track 1, so we're going to... Yeah, it is working. Right. We have got... Let me turn that off. You guys can see it a bit better because of the glare on that front, but... Right, that works. That's bass, tone, volume. Yeah, it's working. It is physically working. So we've got the beats per minute. Looking at some of these. Oh, we've got an echo. This is an echo, so I can't see because of copyright, obviously. I would say that's a winner. It's got a nice sound to it, but it's bloody loud as hell, even through these headphones. But yeah, so that side's obviously going to be for the microphone on there. So yeah, I would say what we need to do is quickly just plug it into the other one. So if I plug all of these into the... If I plug it in through the other sides, so we got line, phono. So if I plug it in through CD and line, because the phono is probably going to be for the preamp side. So I need to plug that one in there and just see if we've got any connection. Yep, that works. That works. Yep, that one works. So it looks like these do work. So they're all lighting up. So yeah, all 4 tracks, the channels, they actually do physically work. So we are getting outputs on all of these. So yeah, which is good because I didn't want one side being down more than anything. Oh, I see. Yeah, so besides that, I wouldn't say we've got any problems here, so it seems to all be good. Well, that's a winner. That's speeding up. So that's actually working quite well. So obviously you've got a pitch. Yeah, I can't see that. So to me, what I need to do now is connect the other one of these up to see if this physically works. So this looks like that's working, and the Behringer mixer's working. So that's good to know. So let me take that out. So yeah, that's actually quite surprising on there. I'm really good. Let me take that. Good. So we can take this off now. Oh, would help if I switched it. Turn this one off and swap the other one out and see if the other one works, because I've got two of these. So this one I can put good. That one's working. Let me go and grab the other one out of the other box, because I've got two. Obviously, because again I've got two of these Citronics sitting. What's down here? I mean, like I said, they've been sitting. I don't know how long these have been sitting around for. A very long time, I suppose. Because again, they had nothing. So this one's cool. Look at it, it's really dusty actually. This one really needs a clean on that front, but we just need to see if it powers up. And it physically, we have got a working audio deck side. I can't see why not, but we don't know. Yep, it does. We got a display. Ain't a disc in there, is it? No, no disc. Well, that's handy. So what I need to do is again, so I don't need to test all these channels. So what I need to do is just play that. Yep, that's playing. I'm going to speed it up because of copyright. So I would say definitely that is a winner, which is good. Right, let me stop that, and then I can take that out. That's good. At least I know both of these are fully working with these decks, which is really great. It just needs a really good clean at the end of it. So yeah, I would say that one definitely. Both of them Citronics are good to go. So, and the Behringer is actually quite a good mixer. It is a bit. I mean, looking at the state of this mixer now, it's really dusty, and it's like the dust that's coming off it's just built all in, but it is fully working. I mean, obviously you can program these, which I ain't going to go through the manual book, because obviously it's got all the manual with it at the end of the day, with the Behringer on there, so it tells you how to program it. Oh, it's probably only going to be the first few pages, because the rest are all in like Italian or manual, but it does give you instructions of how to operate it. But she works beautiful. She, again, don't know how long this one's been sitting around for, this Behringer, and I'll have to do a bit of I'll have to do a bit of work to see. Oh yeah, it's got an effects button. Comes up blue. I didn't see that. So it's got a blue effects button. So this is what I'm saying about programming. It goes all the way up to 75. So it must have different, because when I put it onto Source, I was getting echo effects. It got like it was in a hall or like a cavern. So, but yeah, the sync, I've never understood how these work, because like I said, when you're just blending one song into another, you can throw effects in. I mean, these are proper old school stuff anyway, on these Behringers. But yeah, stereo, or you can split it. But she's fully working. I'm actually quite pleased that these are, because as due to their age, I was amazed they actually turned on, or they was going to have some problems. All sounds fine then. Yeah, it does. So I think, to me, that is a winner for all of this on that front. So let me turn her off and unplug all this now. I can take these out. So we've got no issues with the Behringer the mixer, because again, you probably would need something like that to mix it and see if it comes straight. I suppose you could have just put it straight into some speakers, and then you would have still got some sound out. But it's obviously, these have been all tested and these do all work. So I can box all these back up. I mean, it's in pretty good nick at the back. It really needs, it's a little bit grubby there, but do you know what, I'd say just a good, it feels like, like you've got all the dust and the dirt and it's just stuck to it. It feels like it, because it's like a brushed silver. So I reckon that's all it needs, just a really good clean, put back in the box. I can then get these advertised and get this sold, because most of the money that I've been raising so far, it's all gone to different charities. So this is where probably a lot of this will end back up, because remember, I've got most of all this stuff for nothing. So, but it's just that the hospice where I work for can't test it, so they have to, it has to go into the electronic recyclement, which they don't get a lot of money for electronics recycled. So what I do, I tend to offer, put in a small donation, a lot more than what they give at the end of the day. So and then the money that I end up pouring back, they get back fourfold. So to me, I'm not really bothered, because I've already got my setup and it sounds lovely. So anything what the hospice that I get off the hospice, it goes back to the hospice. So the money's being poured back and it gets regenerated. So and they're more than happy. So 9 out of 10, they just save me. They just say to me, we got some more stuff here, and whatever you can't fix, just strip down for parts. But if you do, we're more than grateful for what you can get on it, which I'm more than happy, because it makes me great content for YouTube. And so it's a win-win all round. So, and it's just nice seeing some of this stuff being breathed once again, because they haven't got the time or the facilities to do all this testing, which I have. I can do it when I come home, so, and to help them out. So yeah, we've got that. So that's good that that's working at the end of the day. So we've got 2 items. We've done 3 items there today. So what I'm going to end up doing, we've got some more stuff to do, some more testing. But I think this one's going to be a bit more trickier, because this one is a ion. I think it's for like it's like a DJ mix thing for the PC. Now again, they obviously can't test it, but again, just how you're taking it out, because I'm taking it out of the box, it's been sitting up on the wardrobe probably close to about 5 months. So because I'm still trying to get round to half of these systems and get these powered up, because this looks like this is to be connected to a PC. But again, we've got all the box. Do you list them on eBay's or Facebook? eBay, bud. I don't really normally do. The last time that I've done Facebook, I did account hacked twice, claiming it was me, and my account got banned because once they got hacked, and I proved it got hacked, Facebook then took the site down. So but I didn't get no apology, and I didn't get my account reinstated. So since then I just stayed off of Facebook altogether, and due to the comebacks, the money, all of this stuff is going back to the charity. So and we don't want any comebacks. So, and I'll state that on my listings at the end of the day, purely no returns, because it's going to a very good cause on that front. So I'll make all my listings quite clear on that front. So yeah, this is the reasons why I have to make sure that these are all fully tested and working before I list them, because I don't want to end up listing some of this stuff for them and say it works, because some people will obviously get too lazy to test. I'm more than grateful to put it through its paces and physically test it. So because this will do someone a great turn at the end of the day, and it just brings good content to YouTube, because I've got multiple items to test, at the end of it. So and it's like I said, so it's good all round. So this is being an Ion, probably one of those cheap, you know, budget type of mixers. Now I assume this probably would be MP3, because looking at the box, it looks like we've got the software to go with this as well. So I assume, so like I said, this is just how it come in at the end of the day, but they didn't have time to test it. So we've got, as I thought, we've got this software. You could probably download the software. So what I'll do, if I know this is fully working, because a lot of people don't own CDs now. Yeah, that's for like a virtual DJ. I think that's what you're right, yeah. Do you have any other USB controllers? I've got a box of controllers. What type of controllers are you after? Because I've got a big box there, and I've got some under the bed. I've got some boxes on there. I mean, I even got round to. I know that I did have a Steam Deck. Someone bought the Steam Deck. I raised over £400 on the Steam Deck. So the Steam Deck was quite. It had a bad SSD control. It had a bad SSD stick of RAM. The Auspice bought a new RAM stick. I installed it, put the new operating system on, and that was Pioneer or Denon or even Nummark or the Mixtrack. I've got some Denon, but I don't. I think they are servers, you know, like the digital ones. But I don't know. I'll have to look, because I've got more stuff in my bedroom which I'm trying to go through, because it's so manded up in my bedroom, and my front room ain't the greatest. Because look, and I'm not exaggerating when I say that some of this stuff, I've got mounds of consoles, which, you know, I mean, as it is, I'm trying to test. I mean, I must have loads of Xboxes sitting underneath on that chair, and I mean, this is only some of this stuff that I've got. Obviously, like some of these bits and pieces that I'm pulling up. Now, I'm trying to get through them, but I want my front room back. But it's like all them Xboxes up there. I've not even tested all them Xboxes, and I've got more Xboxes to test over where my system's set up, because where all they are, there's more consoles. I've run out of room. I mean, I'm not that I'm boasting. It's just that this is the amount of gear that I'll get off from the Auspice, and I cannot. Oh, Xbox. You've got an Xbox Crystal. Yeah, I've not even tested that. So yeah, it's like all this stuff. The Auspice keep piling it on me, but I've had to tell them, don't give me no more. I've literally run out of room. My balcony's full up. There's boxes out there. I don't even know what's in boxes. I've not got round to them, you know. And this YouTube channel, I've only just started to go through it, because one of them, it's like the KF radios. I've got two Sharp radios that come in, and they was thrown out over the road, and they are the original 1980s. I'm keeping them ones for myself. One of them I managed to restore. It had some bits gone on it, but I've restored that now. That's back on my retro stack. But the consoles, I've not even got round to all them Xboxes. There's just too many there, and I'm getting more and more consoles coming in. And I went, don't give me no more. I said, you'll have to store them, because I have literally run out of room until I can get these sold, so I can then take more in, so I can replace it, so it can generate on that front. So yeah, I need half of this stuff gone, because obviously otherwise it'll pile up. I won't even get my front my bedroom is just, that's out of bounds at the moment on that front. But yeah, what I'll have to do with this, I think I've got some, the Auspice give me a load of these sticks. Where are they? They did give me a load of these little USBs. Where are they actually? If I remember, they give me a pack, and there was loads and loads of them. Yeah, look, this is some of them. They give me a load of these, brand new, all sealed up. So they said this is two, and I had a stack of them. There must have been about 20 in a pack at the end of the day. And these are 8 gigabytes. So I've got a pack of these buried in amongst that lot somewhere. I've managed to pull one pack out. So what I'll do, I will convert that software because I've got the software to do it, I will convert the software and put it onto a USB stick for them, so they can then just plug it into the PC, just in case if they can't get the virtual, you know, this stuff, and then they've got the stick to install it and do what they want with it. But we do need, obviously I do need to plug this in just to give this a, you know, to find out if this thing is even working, because I don't know if it is or not. So lucky enough I've got USB connections. Yeah, only so much you can do, mate, but I work the building trade and I do electrics repairs on the side, so I've never enough time. I know the feeling, bud. You know, I do as much as I can for the because I work for the hospice full time at the end of the day. But it looks like we've got all lit up on that front. So let me turn it off, because that glare is so overpowering at the end of the day. So yeah, I'm going to say, you know, without putting, I'm going to have to install the software. Lucky I've now got to find a portable, you know, optical drive, so I can install the software. But this software might not be compatible. This is another thing. The software might not be compatible with Windows 11. That might be another issue, actually, come to think about it. That's without reading the manual. Is the police still there? No, the police are gone. We've got druggies over the road, and they're always up and down, the police. Unbelievable. Causing them all types of issues. That's the safety instructions and the warranty. I'd just say that's well out of warranty. The quick start guide. Is there anything to do with no? So really, it's only that one page and that one page. All the rest is foreign. Wow, that's unbelievable, isn't it? So what? And that's all it's got. So it just tells you the. Yeah, it is. Wow, just 2 pages. That's unbelievable. So yeah, looking at that, it's got the software CD, but doesn't tell you what software it runs it on. I mean, it's never been, looks like it's never been, oh, it's got a code there. I can't put the code in at the end of the day. I didn't see that. Let's cover the code up. Right, let's see what it has. Oh dear. What did I say? I was 100% right. I won't be able to install this on my computer. Software system requirements, Mac OS 10, so which will be mounting, that will be mounting line for Mac OS, 10.4 or later, Windows XP, Service Pack 2 or Vista. Well, I'm going to say that is no way is that going to work on that front, and I will have to state that. I mean, at the end of the day, that they'll have to put that in, so that I won't be able to go any further on that, which will be a shame, because obviously they could even power it up, because they ain't got any power USB ports on the back of it. But unbelievable. So yeah, the system requirements are old on these DJ things. So I'm expecting that not to fetch a lot of money for the hospice, but you know, it'll do someone. Obviously, if you want to do the old DJing on an old, I suppose if you've got an old laptop with an old operating system, perfect. It's going to be overkill for what they want at the end of the day. So yeah, it's let's put that in here for a minute. So yes, so but we have got, it's dusty, and that's amazing. That's covered up and all at the end of the day. So yeah, I would say we've got, what's that, paint? No, it's all right. So yeah, you've got your pitch, you've got your control. Obviously these won't light up, obviously without the software, because you're going to need to cue it to mix it over one side to the other. But it lights up. I can't see why that didn't, because these don't spin anyway. These are virtual decks that you just go around mixing, so, which is great. So. Yeah, probably made for XP. You're probably right there, bud. You're right. So yeah, so I'm good. But again, they couldn't even plug it in because there was no plug. obviously they don't have plugs. The voltage on these plugs are going to be no more than 5 volts that goes into the USB side anyway, so it's totally irrelevant. So they would have had nothing to test it on. And again, most operating systems now, obviously, who the heck uses Windows XP or Vista? You know, like you said, you're going right back to early 2003. Yeah, that's not going to happen, is it? I mean, unless you've got a really old laptop. At the end of the day, I'll do a bit of investigation, see if there was any modern software, like an updated version of that. But I'm going to say probably no. There probably won't be an updated version of that software, because looking at this fits right in that ballpark at the end of the day. But again, it will work if you've got Windows XP. So what I could do, because I've got a bunch of laptops down here. I ain't tested yet, so I could put Windows XP on, install this and sell this as a package to raise more money. I think that might be the best bet. Now you can get a decent Denon controller working. I'll buy one off you. Yeah, but yeah, I'm sure that let me have a look at some of that Denon stuff, because I've got one here which I've not tested. I don't even know what this is. Again, comes like it was piled over there. So this is a Denon. It's a network audio player, a DNP. So it's a. Right. Well, that's made it interesting. I don't think that if memory serves me correctly, didn't Denon. With the networks, did they switch? I'm pretty sure they used thing like a NAS that you connect it to the thing. Yeah, I mean like the controller. Oh right, yeah. Sorry, bud. Yeah, I'll go through some and see if there is any on there, because I don't know what I've got. But the Denos with these media servers, you had a thing that you run it through. Was it to go online? And but I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, didn't they switch off all their servers? They don't use them. None of their all their servers are switched off. A twin deck. A twin deck. The only twin deck one I've got. But hold up, because I don't even know what I've got in there. I've got this. I don't think it's a Denon. Because I'm using. I've got a. What is it? I've got my Technics digital one up there, and I'm using that because that's quite. I tested this one yesterday. It's a Yamaha twin deck, tape deck one on that front, and yeah, again this one works all lovely. So, but I ain't put a stick on it yet, but I did test it on that one. But yeah, I have to have a look to see what other decks I've got. Let's have a quick look, because I know it's all piled up. Right, what I've got in the back there's a Sound Acoustics amplifier, a Sony and a Pioneer stereo receiver. I tried the Pioneer one yesterday, it works fine. The others look like DVD recorders and hard drive. Some of them have got hard drives in. Again, not tested for something like that. But they're sitting on top of the wardrobe gathering dust, because I've not got round to them yet at the end of it. And also I've got a couple of VCR recorders there I've not tested, mid 90s to early 2000s. There's another Pioneer, again I've not tested these, I don't know if these work. I've got a couple of them. I know these do sell quite well because I've sold one before. Panasonic DVD video recorder with some of these. I've got a Blu-ray recorder, brand new Blu-ray recorder, not been tested. on that front, because these ones, this one does DVD and RAM, which is interesting on that front. And then what else is down here? Oh God, choo-choo. I've got a Pioneer. Oh, is that a Philips? I can't even bloody see it. No, it's a Technics. Oh, it's not. It's a Technics. It looks like it's a Technics fancy CD player with a nice LCD display. It's got disco lights to repair. They are, but they're all buried in the they're all buried in a cupboard. I've not got round to the cupboard yet because I ain't even got to the wardrobe. Which most of these are sitting on top of the wardrobe. I'm only just trying to get to the ones I can get my hands on because I've got boxes piled up on top. So I need to get through them boxes because there's more consoles in there which I've not tested. There's more PlayStation 2s, Xbox. There's loads of Xbox 360s, Xbox Ones, and I think there's loads of the Nintendo Wii's. You know, there's boxes of them in there which I've not got round. And then in the cupboard, I've got some disco lights. I think I've got 2 off the top of my head. There might even be 3 disco lights. Again, not tested. I don't know if they actually do, if they are actually working. They're probably going to need some mild tension repair at the end of the day, if they work at all. Because again, we can't test them. They haven't got the facilities to test them on that front. But yeah, with these recorders, I don't think, I'll have to look into this, but I'm pretty sure that this one, they switched the servers off. I don't think I'm going to be able to connect it to their servers, and I'm pretty sure that Denon did turn their servers off, because you used to connect, you can upload your information to their server, but I don't know if you can actually, because it says USB and iPod. So I suppose you can run it all from the USB side, because you used to upload it to their cloud server, and then that. Just cut down on your load a bit, and then on the repair, and then sell the stuff faster. The trouble is, where I'm spending so much time helping the hospice out, I'm not getting many time, because I have to lead the dog around my mum's. So I'm not getting much time to, the time I come home and pick my dog up, I have to have a quick bite to eat and then try and make room of this stuff, because they're still giving me more stuff to take home, like little bits. Them little bits are all taking up. I mean, there's like a little tape deck there, I've not tested at the end of the day. Things like these, where they keep saying, oh, you can take these home with you. You know, like, these are mid-90s and early stuff, things like that. So they say, oh, take that home with you and you can test it. Yeah, well, all you're doing is just adding to what I've already got, which is not obviously helping. There's a Ferguson little portable TV down here I've not got round to testing. I don't even know if that works. So, and then the time I start the YouTubing, everyone's saying, put this on, try that. You know, and the trouble is, I'm hopscotching and this stuff is just piling up even more, so I need to go through it. But yeah, let me plug this in. Let me see that Xbox Crystal UDZ Raze 100 Plus. Yeah, you probably would, you're right, on that front. But I'm pretty sure I've got another one of them buried in next door, because the boxes in my bedroom are half piled up to my wall. And I know, in fact, in 2 of them, they did give me, they said that ain't been tested. There was a Nintendo Switch 2, and there's also a Nintendo Switch in there as well, all boxed. They said it looks like brand new, but they can't test it. So again, I've not got round to that yet, and they are correct, because I did see it in a box, but I've just not got round to actually testing it. But yeah, so yeah, the Switch 2 looks like it's brand new, but I can't get to it because there's got to be about 12 boxes piled on top with all the other consoles. So I'm trying to work my way through, but what I want to do is clear my front room, because obviously the dog's not helping, running around like a nutter like he is. I mean, he's a big dog, he's a Cane Corso, and you know, and the trouble is with him, he tends to go a bit. He tends to go a bit mad with the. Let me show you, and I can show you guys on that front. So you can see him. He's a big lad at the end of it. So yeah, he's asleep at the minute. But he's a rescue. The owner didn't want him. He said to him like, "Oh, I'm going to leave him out in the streets, and anyone can take him." At the end of the day, I get it, mate. Too many things to get on with in an issue. Yeah. So yeah, now with the dog, the owner said, "Take him. I don't want him. My missus can't get on with him." At the end of the day, they went, "We can't be asked." So they said, "We was just going to let him out in the wild." And I said, "No, don't do that." I said, "That's a stupid thing to do. I mean, that annoys me. Why do people have animals and then they do that? It's not fair on him, you know." But yeah. And he's as good as gold. He's actually one bit. He's a bit funny with people, but once he gets to know you, he's really good. But I think he keeps carrying down. I think that's where he's been hit so many times. Bless him. Which is not his fault. It really is not his fault at all. So let me grab a. All right, where's the bloody lead? Oh Jesus! Yeah, this is it. So, because again, I've not tested none of these. Let's see if this actually plugs in. So I don't know why it needed an antenna. That's a bit loose, isn't it? Look, so that's going to need to be addressed. So that is all wobbling around in there, which is not great, and I can't leave it like that because again I think it might have come loose inside, so I might just have to whip this open and just give that a quick tighten up. Just might. But if this power's on at all, yeah, it does. Yeah, we got power. Let me click this off, which is great. So we've got a dent. So this is actually working. Then now I'm pretty sure. But again, obviously I'm going to have to connect this up to an amplifier. It says see, it says connecting. So I'm pretty sure that this is. I'm pretty sure you have to connect this to their network. But if that's the case, oh no, you don't. Yeah, music server. So we got. Oh, it's got Last FM. So I think that's it. Napster. That's it. I couldn't think of the name of it. It was Napster. I'm pretty sure Napster switched their servers off at the end of the day. FM. Oh, it's got a built-in radio. Oh, that's what the aerial's for. Right. That's interesting on it then. So you can actually use this. Yeah. So it's got a built-in radio. Perfect. Right. Okay. So what we do first, if I switch this back on, take this off. So I need to open this up and tighten that up because that's really, really extremely loose. So let me take this off. It'll probably only take a few minutes to actually get it. So, because again, I wasn't expecting any of this stuff to, you know, have some issues or thinking, Jesus, what's the chance of this stuff working? I'm going to say probably 0. I was a bit sceptical on that front, but no, actually quite surprising. It does all work. But I've definitely got stuff that I do need to really like to get through off of this gear. But now I know it's working. The trouble is I'm probably going to spend a day trying to put all this on to get this advertised. It's got to be clean, and I've got boxes all on the balcony. I'm pretty sure I've got a lot of empty boxes, so I need to source some boxes, bubble wrap, and on that front. It'd be great because, like you said, I didn't know. Yeah, it was Napster. I'm pretty sure I'm right. Napster switched their servers off. It won't come off because you've got the screws at the top. Yeah, I will have to dig out the items, the Nintendo Switches, and see what they're bloody noise. Hardly anything in it. Jesus, that's disappointing. Right, that's unbelievable. There's hardly anything in that. I mean, it's what a total waste. I mean, you've got obviously your REF to do with all your bits in it, but now I've just powered this up. Obviously, that side is hot, so I don't want to touch that. But as I can see, this aerial connector, it's extremely. It's not the greatest, is it? I mean, I've got to be careful there because that could actually physically. I need a thin pair of pliers. Where's my thin pair of pliers? Let me grab my thin pair of pliers. Right. Yeah, Napster is shut down 24 years ago. Wow. That's unbelievable. That is how long they physically shut down. I mean, I remember Napster. They was a bit like they was the biggest when it comes to the world's big audio streaming place, wasn't it, Napster? That's how I remember it. But yeah, Jesus, 24 years. Wow, that's gone. I don't even know where that's gone. I've got to be careful because there's a thin. You've got a thin bit of wire. Obviously, this is for the radio. I bet that's turning that side. I know it is because I can feel it. It is. So I've got to hold this side. And just nip it. So I've got to hold it there and I mean, that's a lot better now, but that ain't great. I'll need another pair of pliers so I can grab one side and it just wants a little slight nip on that. There we are. I've got the other pair of pliers here. That'll do. Bloody hell. I've got a bar top arcade underneath there. I've got to have a look at it. It's got it's an homemade, someone's made it up. They've done a bloody good job on it. It's not reading the iPack. So I've got to check the iPack to see if the iPack's gone forward. If not, like my arcade one up over there, I can actually, I can just swap it out and and then reconfigure the controls. Oh, that's better. Look at that. Oh no, it's just loosened it again. That's a bad design, isn't it? That's really poorly. I mean, right, that's it. Right, thank God for that. I'm thinking that's all it wanted. It needed nipping up, but you've got to be careful not to. I didn't really want to pinch the wire because of that being really loose, but we seem to be fine on that. None of these are loose, is it? Not to be honest, there's not really a lot in that, which I was really surprised. We ain't got any leaky caps. I suppose in this hardly had any use. Like a lot of this stuff, I suppose in Denon. The Denon been going around for ages. I mean, I've got my Marantz tape recorder there, my little cassette recorder. I paid 500 for it because it was in mint condition, and I've got all of the casing and all of the what was it? I've got the casing. I've got all the paperwork, and I bought that purely because I've got a lot of retro stuff. No, it was round here. It was round the right way. Bloody hell! And I use it for my retro stuff. And it's beautiful. It's got such a lovely little sound on that little cassette player. Bloody no. Right, that's it. They're guides. These ain't guiding right in. And I don't like forcing things because just in case. That's it. There you go. She's in. Right. So let me just move the camera and I can show you what I'm doing. So yeah, Marantz. Marantz is obviously another good brand of iron. So shame about, I don't know what's, I've got to go through that box. That box is a mess. There's all bloody controllers in there. I've got a box of, there's a box in the bedroom. It's probably in a cupboard actually. It's all got remote controls, all for different makes and models and things. I mean, again, they was all going to be slung out, and I went, no, don't throw them. I mean, you shouldn't throw things like that at the end of the day. So, but what I need to do is put some MP3s on, right, onto, not these because I'm using a stick. So let me see if I can grab, yeah, we are. So let me see if I can grab an MP3, right, and I could do that because I've got the computer down here. I'm not going to use my main computer because I built that one by hand, and that one is that one works lovely. So I need to disconnect. Where's that bloody camera? Yeah, it's down here. Yeah, you can tell I'm organised. It looks a bit of a mixing desk as well, mate. Probably prefer a Soundcraft or an Alien and Health or Auto Live. Yes, we've reached. I just can't believe Napster shut down their servers 24 years ago. I mean, that goes to show how bloody long was that? Oh, I ain't put the bloody screws back in. What a crank. Would help, wouldn't it? I thought I only put the backs in, I didn't put these in. So what repairs do you actually do? Do you work on, I mean, obviously, I'm still a novice. I'm still learning about, my expertise is on computers because I grew up with computers. I mean, I've still got my BBC Micro that I restored because I grew up with that since the late 70s and very early 1980s. And that's the type of stuff I've always grew up with. So I'm more clued up with PCs because I build my own. I've done a nice build there with it's a 9900K, and there's a 4080 Ti graphics card in it, and I'll put it in a nice case, and it actually, like, it's quite nice. But I want to do a next build, but I might go down an AMD route. And look at the 9800 X3D and probably go down that road because it's the same as the 99. So switches, PS4s, 5s, Xbox, phones, TVs, sounds and lighting, and MacBooks. Oh right, because I've got a big MacBook. I've got a big iMac up there on that front, and I'll show you. The iMac, someone threw that out, the iMac, they threw the bloody iMac out, right, on that front, and yeah, I moved that out of the way and you can see it, so I'm not embossed over, you can see the bloody logo, and yeah, it's a 20, what was it, a 2019 inch, I think it was a 19, I think it was a 2019, which they threw that out, you know, on that front, but they had no power. Yeah, the reasons why it had no power, what they didn't realise was they must have took it and realised, oh, someone's thrown out a lovely computer. And because I know a bit about computers, the iMacs especially, on these, yeah, if you take out the controller, the actual hard drive, you're not going to get no power. I've seen old MacBooks when you turned up with the camera around earlier. Oh right, oh did you, bud? Yeah. So yeah, they threw that out because it literally had no power. The switch, they couldn't hear nothing, but nothing come up on the screen. It didn't even come up with a symbol saying something was missing. Now on these earlier ones, it won't post anything until it completes the circuit. So I put a brand new hard drive in, one of those SATA drives. Put a 500 gigabyte ones in and put the relevant operating system on. I think it's Sonoma, on that one, and yeah, powered straight up, and I've been using it ever since. I do all my photo editing when I get a chance, and video editing, so it's great for that, but I can't update it purely for that reason at the end of it. So yeah, let me see, where was that bloody, oh look, so that's plugged in. So let me see if I can go to OBS and see if we can try and grab wrong one. Let me turn on the Creative 4K. Right, hold up. Color source, text, Elgato. I'm still getting my head around this bloody OBS. It's an headache. It's not the easiest thing to do on these. And I'm still bloody learning on it. I mean, it was bad enough trying to set it all up on that. Display capture. Right, there you go. So I've got to go to display capture. Now I can show you on the front of, see if we can try and grab just an MP3. So if I just quickly go on to and see if I can grab an MP3, and I'm sure there's some MP. What I want to do is put an MP3 on that file, and then just see. I don't know where my bloody keyboard's gone. Where's my keyboard? Is that buried and all? That wouldn't surprise me actually. Oh yeah, it's down here. It's right down inside of me. Right, so let me grab a. So if we got free, is that working? Yeah, here we go. So wow, free. What free MP3 MUSIC music. So, and then you basically, I'll just do a quick research. Pixely download. Right. So this is going to be royalty free, but I can't play obviously this because I know that I'm going to get copyrighted. So I'm going to click download. We're going to say save it at the end of it. Let's have a go. Yes. So we're going to take that royalty free, and then I'm going to go back into this PC, and we're going to drag that into there, which we have. We're going to eject that, make sure that's ejected safely because I don't want to end up having problems. Which we have. Lovely. Right, so now we can go back into OBS and go back into camera. So what we can do now is, now we've got that sort of sourced, let me put the, obviously, YouTube, lovely. Right, so what I want to do now is put this, switch this back on. Now I assume that's going to be an MP3, but we'll soon find out. Why is that? Oh, we'd help it. I've not switched it on. Not plugged it in. Bloody hell. There you go. So we'll plug it in. Let's see if we switch it back on now. Yeah, I was on there. I think I did see on Andy's stream. So that's what I said. I was watching. Andy was mucking about with that TV board. At the end of the day, the trouble with them TV boards, even though if it turns on and off, most of the time it's the LED backlit, like the LED lights itself. Because what I got told by an old boy, he said that they have a driver chip basically, and if it's not getting, if one of them is not completing the circuit through one of them LED lights, the chances are it tells the controller chip to the actual main board, and it won't power off. It won't power on. It'll power on and power instantly off. So, you know, he really should have just, but you've got to be careful taking the screens out. But the LEDs for them screens are so expensive, it's more than what the bloody TV's worth. It's not worth it at the end of the day. So, right, we need to go back to source. USB, searching, checking info. Right, this waiting to reply, loading. So if it's loading, no connecting. Now, I'm going to have to do a bit of investigation, because are these MP3s, are they WAV formats, or, you know, are they ACCs, what the Apple uses? What? I mean, that's probably, I mean, that was an MP3. And obviously, as soon as you take the SD card out and put it in, I'm not sure with Napster. The LEDs aren't expensive for the panel. That's the expensive. The LEDs are behind the panel. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, they're behind the actual TV, behind the screen itself. But if one of them's only got to be out or 40, it won't. There's a controller chip that drives it to the driver to actually tell it for the backlit to come on. And if any of them LEDs, you've only got to have one go 40, it won't power up. I did try to tell Andy that, but obviously I think the others were trying to tell him, "Oh, connect a strip up to see if it does it." But remember, them strips have all got to be running. That driver chip, it needs all of them LEDs lit up to drive it properly, to pull the voltage it needs for the backlit to light. But no, I think Andy only done one strip. It doesn't work like that. I'm pretty sure that you need more than one strip for it to light. But it's like you said, with them, anything's possible with these TVs. I've got a Philips. There's a Philips. Someone dumped a Philips Hue. You know, one of them ones that lights up at the back. The Philips Hue lights up. They've got LEDs all built into the TV. Someone threw it out. I took it. It was a 32-inch, lovely TV on that front. But when you power it up, it stays. It literally it pulsates. It comes on, goes off. Then once it sort of it comes on, it stays on. But you can't alter none of the channels. So you can't alter the volume. And that's when I found out with the old boy, and he said, no, unfortunately, it's the LEDs that's causing the issue. He said, lucky enough that he didn't charge me for it, because I've done him a few favours. So he said, no, it's the actual LEDs itself. He said, if you replace them, he said, but I'll tell you now, it's going to cost you more than a TV. And he's right. When I checked, the price of them Hue LED lights end up being nearly £70, more than you could actually buy the whole TV working for near enough the same amount. So it wasn't worth it. So I'll just keep it for parts. If another one comes in, or it's got a busted screen, I could take bits off one to put on another. This is taking its time loading, so which is, you shouldn't do that. So I don't know with this. I might have to investigate in why, you know, see what format these have to be recorded in. But we've got, it looks like we've got, I'll have to also put it for a power source, but at least it does power on that. But I think the MP3s, I don't know if it's MP3, WAV, I don't know what format it is, but I'm going to put a little bit of a sticky note on this one. Tested, working. So a little bit of it's a little bit scratched up, but yeah, she does the job at the end of the day. So I'm just going to put, fucking pen's not working there, great. Tested, working. And what's the day? Today is the 2nd of the 11th. 25. It just pleases me now. I've tested it. Obviously, I've got to find out on here, find out what MP3s it does. But as soon as I know that and the radio works, you can still, if the radio works on this and the MP3s work, I can do that off camera. At least I know that you can use it. The Napster side you won't be able to use, because like you said, I didn't even know it was 25 years ago that actually stopped, and that's amazing. That's a bloody long time ago since that stopped on that front. So yeah. Yeah, them Xboxes, I'll have to get round to testing them, but I've got to get round to testing the right bit of everything. That's that, you know, I was saying earlier on about the Marantz. I've got, this was the one that I paid a lot of money for. I bought this purely because, I'm glad I did, because I put it round the wrong bloody way. This is one of these CP430s. This is obviously being a later model on this front with these Marantzes, and these are really nice because I love the analog sort of like the meters as they're going across. Like they look like they are the UV meters. I love all that because again it's old school, proper old school stuff. But this got such a lovely little sound. But even at the price I paid for this, the bloke still had to put it up for spares or repair at 500. And the reasons why is because there's not many of these in production, and that, and all it. He said he could hear a motor. He said it was working. He said, but he said when he plugged it in, he was listening to a cassette tape, and all of a sudden the cassette tape stopped. He said, and all the tape come out, got wrangled up inside, which he just pulled out. He said, I didn't open it up because I think he said these are a bit complicated to open up, and he's right, they are a little bit. And he said, so he had to bust his tape, getting the tape out, and the cassette didn't work no more. So, but he said you can hear a whirling noise. So he left it at that. So the pictures in the description, I knew exactly what that was. I said, oh, that's got a busted belt, that sounds like. But he still wants, you know, 500 quid. He wouldn't drop the price. He said, no, this is in really good condition. He said, I've got all the paperwork, the carrier case, and the power supply. You don't get the power supply, you don't get these cases at that, and they still want 400 quid for these. And you know, and I only bought it purely because I bought it for like all my retro consoles, like my Ataris, the Commodore 64 I've got down here. I've done a bit of restoration work on, and it's got a little bit of a mod on it. Also the Spectrum next, I put that so I can run this through on that side, and it just comes out lovely. It's just got a really nice sound. And again, the actual, this ain't been used much because looking at that battery terminal on this, it's absolutely like brand new. It's never, you could definitely, they can see that this ain't been used much. So this, whoever had this, well looked after it. So, and when I checked, there was one not in as good condition as this, with all the paperwork. He didn't have the box, he had the case similar to mine, and also he had the power supply. But mine, I've got the power supply pouch, which he never had for these, and he wanted £700, and he's still on eBay. He didn't sell it, obviously for that reason. But that goes to show the price of these Marantzes. They do hold really strong money. So what I've done, the belt for this was nearly £30 for the belt. So I replaced the belt 2024. So I always put like a little note inside that I replaced it. It took a little while on that front, but it was worth it because again, you're not going to see them. These are a little bit of a treat to actually see these Marantzes up and running. And again, not everyone wants. I think Andy done the Marantz controller, and he couldn't do it because the traces were too far gone at the end of the day. But yeah, that's. I mean, I still use that. I mean, when I'm out in the kitchen or around my mum's, I still like playing me cassettes because I still got some of my 1980s cassettes. So I've got a big box of cassettes in here which I can't get to at the minute because I've got a bloody Atari monitor there that's got to be tested, an Atari ST monitor, and again it come in with them two Ataris because I've got 3 Atari STs, 2 of them come in, one of them was my own. So one of them I've got the board in bits. One of them's got no display, but when I looked, I'm pretty sure someone told me on the forum this one's working. This is a 1040 ST, but it did have an issue. even though it booted up, which is fine, I checked all the chips. These you can plug into a hard drive, right? And this one's got a hard drive issue. It won't power through the hard drive. It doesn't detect it. So he said, we don't know what's wrong with it, so it all come in as a job lot, basically. And the other one I've got there now, which is this one, I've got a replacement for it, took it out. This one here, one's a revision, this one's a revision D, this one's a revision A, so this one's an earlier version. So, and this one is, again, it's a 1040 STFM, but we've got a black screen issue with this one, and I can't get any further. But I'm pretty sure someone again told me to change the banks of RAM, because these ticks, I put ticks on these. What I've done with mine, because this one behind works, I ticked all the ones that work, right? The glue chip and all the other chips. The only ones I haven't tested are, obviously, I've not checked these chips yet. So these ones here, these chips and these chips I've not checked. Even though this one, even though that one there still works, and it's just got that issue where it won't work on the hard drive. But this one won't, even though it powers up, you'll just get a black screen. So I checked the internal shifter chip, which is the main CPU chip itself. I can't take this chip out to check because it's soldered to the board, a bit like that chip. This one's got a socket on it at the end of the day, but they soldered it. If you look at one of the legs is actually soldered to the end. Don't know why they've done that at the end of the day, but this one's manufactured. But the only one thing that they did say is check the RAM, because if the RAM's gone bad, you will get a black screen. There's a possibility. And when I powered the bottom one up, the chips were getting warm. Now when I checked this one and powered it up, some actually got more than warm, but some of them were stone cold. So I could put it down to these chips have probably gone 40, and these chips do. But again, I've not got round to it yet, but because I'm trying to get through some of this other stuff. But I'll need to put this one back at some point, and because this one's obviously working, and I don't want to start taking the RAM out of this one, because I know what'll happen. Right, there's a bank of about 32 chips there, right, and if I take these 32 chips out, the chances are you're going to start lifting pads and delaminating the board, which I've got the hot soldering gun to do it, and I know how to do them, and I'm really careful when it comes to that front, but I know how fragile these boards are, and they won't take too much kindness to being stressed out by trying to take them. So it would have just been easier for me. I've got two options. I'd rather keep this board for spare parts and put it in as this one as a job lot, which I'll probably end up doing at the end of the day because of the black screen, because again, these are both 1040 STFMs at the end of the day. So I know these ones work because I've tested them and they work on the other board. I could test them, that's not an issue, because again, they're on standoffs. I can take them off, test them. But I can't test none of the RAM because of that front. But I'll see how much the RAM is. If the RAM isn't too much on that front, then I might invest in a bank of RAM and just swap them over. Just swap all the good RAM, because if there's some good RAM in here and bad RAM, then it won't post. You just won't get no post at all. You probably will get a black screen. But if it don't still work, then I've just done more money. So I'm in catch-22. What do? Do I end up just saying, sell it as spares or repair and put it in with the other board? Because the other one does work to a certain degree. I'll have to put that in the description. And then obviously put this all back into a case and say into it, you know, most of the chips, some of them do work, and I'll test it, because I'll take pictures and show them. And I'll say, but the RAM has not been tested because I haven't got a tester, unless I buy a RAM tester for an IC and check this, because that might be another idea. I could take these RAM sticks out, put them through a tester, and then see if any of them come up good or bad. That might be my best alternative, because I've got a couple of these of these old consoles, of these computers, and they probably are going to have chip failure at the end of it, because like a lot of these chips, they just fail over time. But yeah, I might actually go down that route and see how much one of them are, and see if I can get one to test it. Same as the PC, mate. I ran into bad. If there's RAM bad, you'll get a black screen, and usually by beeping. I get no beeping. I just get a full black screen. I think the Ataris don't. They just don't beep. They don't do nothing. You'll turn it on and just get a completely black screen on that front. You know, when I've done the work on my BBC Micro, and she's a lovely beast. I'm not selling that because I grew up with that on that front. The BBC Micro was exactly the same thing. It had some multiple issues. I mean, I've got two Atari 2600s, which these have got some issues. They was working on the Atari 2600s. These were working lovely. Both of them was working lovely. And then guess what? They decided to stop. And on these Ataris, you've got a voltage regulator, power caps on top of the board. If I can get to it, I can show you what I mean at the end of it. And yeah, again, notorious for going bad. Let me see if I've got the board for that. What top one? She's over there. There she goes. Oh no. These are the 2600s. So these are the woodies at the end of it. So the board's not in there. So I don't know where the bloody board is. You've got the top part that goes over, and normally it just shows you. Oh yeah, they're at the top there. They're right in front of me, and I didn't even see them. Right. So on these, you've got the 4-pot one and the 6-pot one, basically. Now, what I've learnt with these old Ataris, the first thing that normally go is the voltage regulator. So you've got a 12-volt voltage regulator. That voltage regulator will regulate it down to roughly around about 5 volts at the end of the day, and that's all it does. But 9 out of 10, these go bad. So what they recommend you do with all Ataris, if it pops, if you get no power, literally no power, chances are the voltage regulator has gone bad, and you need to change it at the end of the day, which is not a problem. Is that one gone bad? No, it just looks a bit crusty. Let me just double check, because I always like to make sure. No, it looks like a bit of flux. Yeah, it is. It's flux. So I changed this, right? Because 1 minute it was working, then it wasn't working. So I thought, okay, then what I need to do is change the capacitor. So we've got the capacitor on there at the end of the day, and as you can see, look, I unplugged it, and you can clearly see that I'm not making it up. I've unplugged the capacitor side. So I took it all out, desoldered it, and put in another capacitor at the end of the day, thinking, oh, well, then what you might think, you're thinking, well, it might be this old capacitor that's gone bad or something. You know, obviously it's lost its capacitance over time. But as you can see, when I do a test on the capacitor, it's absolutely fine. So the capacitor is not the problem on the front. So it hasn't lost its capacitance, and I know the voltage regulator because I've done a test on it. But for some reason, the voltage, as soon as I put voltage into this goes ballistic with the voltage. It's going all over the shop. So now another component's gone on it at the end of the day. So let me go into capacitors. There you go. So let me see if we can. I don't know if it'll read 2200 on. I don't think nanofarad. I don't know if it's going to read 2200 UF. I think these multimeters only go up to a certain way on that front, and it's got an auto range meter on here. Yeah, it's not even picking it up. It can't read it. It's basically it's just stuck at 0.879 microfarad. Oh, here we go. No, it overloads. So it obviously can't read that meter reading, isn't it? And I have got one of those diode things that you plug in, which is one of these. So I've got one of these bloody silly things at the end of the day, these transistor testers, and again, but I can't connect it obviously due to, unless I extend the leg and plug it in to see if that's reading its true, you know, value, because this will pick it up, but and this costs 4 times the amount as what that did, which is ridiculous. And yet a multimeter can't pick it up because it only has a maximum range to pick up big caps like 2200 on that front. So but these transistors testers it will read it because it says it on there: transistors, diodes, dual diodes, MOSFETs, SCRs, resistors, capacitors, and it give you your ESR reading. So, and on these things about £5, so they're hardly anything. What voltage cap is that? It is 16 volt, 2200 UF. So I'm pretty sure I did buy some, put one in, bought a new voltage regulator for the Atari, put that in, and the electrics on this was still going skew wire. They was going mad. Now, what I got told was, as far as I know, that they said change your capacitors. That means any of these old ceramic capacitors, change them. Right, now the only ones I changed, they said also you need to change these green bogey type ones as well. They said because sometimes these can lose, they can actually give you off different values, but they said you need to desolder them and then test them, because they said some of these can go bad as well. And they said some of these, now these are these our capacitors? They just say they're it just says 101. So I assume you've got ceramic capacitors on underneath, but I don't know what these type are because I've never seen these. I'll have to Google it, which is really weird. They've got like a weird setting, but they've got markings on. So you've got like, they do look like a capacitor because they've got like a green line going through it at the end of the day. I don't know what they're called at the end of it. But on here, obviously, we've got two of them green bogey ones underneath at the end of the day. So we've got another two at the other side, right? So they need to be, you know, checked. And also we've got another one up here. Now, if these go bad, I suppose they would voltage the regulation around it for it to send the signal to go potty. But you've got a lot of ceramic capacitors, but I've never known these ceramic capacitors to go bad because they're very low voltage. The only ones that normally do go bad are the big capacitors. You know, anything with a larger value probably have got something for it to go wrong. And it was the same with this. This was working lovely. It's got the exact same problem as this now. Now I'll check the chip. Now this one, I'm amazed it actually worked, but when I touched it, it all fell apart. And the pot fell off. The pot actually broke. It literally snapped. So now the picture is all squashed and it's scrambled because there's no pot on it. So on this one, because this one, it's got the original pot, but you can't buy the pots. But then someone said you can buy what they call a 50k pot at the end of the day. Now it says on there, that's not a pot. It says on there R211, well, R stands for resistance. So is that a resistor pot? I mean, I don't know, because they're telling me to say you could put a 50k pot on it, and it's exactly the same thing again on this. It's an R211, so that says that, I assume that's resistance of the pot that needs to go on. And they're, what are they, a 3-legged pot? I think they're a 3-legged pot, 4-legged pot. They're a 4-legged pot, but you can't buy the 4-legged pots for these, which is a shame. It is a smart meter like Andy's, Yeah, it's very similar, that one on there. But yeah, trying to identify that, they said that I read on the forums that you could put a 50k pot on, and I went, I'm not sure about 50k pots. I think you might alter the value too much in it at the end of the day. I think that's far, because that R stands for resistance, like a resistor. So I don't know, I'm getting told all different things, because there's no schematics on these. I tried looking for a schematic, there ain't no schematics. So I don't know its value, what the maximum that can go up to. 50,000 on a K pot would be, that's quite high. If the voltage is high, set too high, you'll take out components if you're not careful, because you're altering the frequency, which would then alter the consistent value of the next component next to it. So you could actually take out a component and a chip. So you've got to be careful in its if the value is too high. And that's what I'm worried about, as it took any of these chips out, because if it is, it's game over. Because now on there, I'll get a blank screen. It's just like a black screen. I get nothing at the end of the day. So because the power is all over the place. So obviously the voltages has been altered on here to a certain point where now you can't alter it anymore. So I don't know. And it's the same with this one. Obviously the picture's scrambled. There is a picture, but it's squashed and it's all disfigured. You can't read anything from it. So again, but looking at these boards they're on there 1983 on that one. And what's this board revision? 1983. So it was actually manufactured in 1978, because I can see it. It's got Atari. It's got the copyright logo, 1978 when it was manufactured. This board here tells you the CO. It's got 12283, or 83 at the end is your date, and these will be your date. So this would be the 12th of the 2nd, 1983, and this one was dated 12th of the 2nd, 1983. And that's a revision 1, reverb 1, and this is a reverb B. So this is obviously a later version, and this was the very first version on that. But like I said, shame, because I do like the Ataris on that front, but one of them's got now pot missing, and it's partly delaminated on there. But yeah, I don't know. Hopefully, it's just see if need to put these up in there and get these sorted out. But I'm gonna. I mean, today I'm gonna end up just it is for what it is. It does. Some of this stuff is working. I'm gonna get these advertised. But yeah, what I'll do, if you're interested, I can put a link in Andy's Discord. And at the end of the day, and if you do, I'll once these get advertised, I'll put a link on there. If you're interested, by all means, go for it. But at least now you've seen it all in person. But hopefully on that front. But I'm going to say, thanks for the turning up on that front. And the next time I'm doing it, I'm going to do some more updating. But I think as from now, take it easy.